Welcome, friends. I'm Gina Nicole, and this is the Goddess Channel, where we awaken our spiritual awareness, connect from the heart, and co-create goodness in the world through channeled messages we receive together with Spirit. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been resonating with these channeled messages, I invite you to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Speaking of next ones, this is our final in 5 messages, or actually, this is the second of our final 5 messages before a very special evolution of the Goddess Channel that I'll be sharing with you on July 4th. So stay tuned, many more sacred things to come. And today's message is one that has been weaving its way through the collective field with quite a bit of intensity. So we're going to talk a little bit here about patriarchy and different dynamics that play out within a patriarchal system and stuff. But as always, know that we're doing this in the presence of light through channeled messages from Spirit, illuminating what needs to be illuminating so we can all grow, we can all move forward, we can all awaken and transmute and complete any old patterns that aren't serving us anymore. So know that as we talk about these things, it's not to get interested in heavier energies. It's really to illuminate the shadow and lighten up. I hope that helps. So let's begin. In this arc of patriarchal society that we've found ourselves participating in at this point, voluntarily or not, there's something that you might take notice of, which is all masculine-leaning people are playing out some form of toxic masculine expression. And all feminine-leaning people are playing out some level of suppression of the feminine principle. Now, we're not saying this to label, to categorize, to point fingers. It's just we live in a reality where there are masculine and feminine principles, and all of us are playing out these shadow aspects to one degree or another. That's what's called healing. And so as these things come to the surface, as they're played out in our reality, we can heal the wounds that have been emerging over millennia around these themes. So this is really about awareness, because what's unfolding on a global scale right now is the rebalancing of these archetypal distortions. We're watching, we're observing, and we are each in our own ways, on our own level of consciousness, playing out for the whole a massive energetic recalibration. And if you look very closely, this rebalancing is happening through one very old and very persistent dynamic, which is what some have called, and I'm not a deep researcher on this, I only really understand this concept in passing, but it really, really applies here. It's something known as a codependent triangle. And in that triangle, there's a bully or a perpetrator, whatever word resonates with you, a martyr or a victim, and then there's a savior. And at any given time, these roles are necessary to keep the pattern running, to keep a codependent, unhealthy dynamic running. And sometimes it's not even 3 different people. You don't need a bully, a victim, and a savior. 2 people can trade off roles to keep the dysfunction afloat. And you see this often in parental relationships or romantic relationships. And you've most likely seen it in family systems, in your friend groups, in your romantic relationships, or even your workplace dynamics. But here is the empowering alchemical truth here. We can opt out at any time, at any moment. take a breath here, because I don't know about with you, but that just landed with me when I said those words aloud as truth with a capital T. That just opened up a lot of space inside of me. So just breathe here and receive that. You can opt out at any moment. No matter how ingrained the pattern, how intimidating the shift can feel, or how much history there is, your soul has the divine authority to say no thank you, to stop validating the dynamic with your energy. And in doing so, you don't shame others or yourself. You honor the innocent part of your own nature and theirs that didn't yet know another way. So what does that mean? Compassion is your bridge out. And when you model this, when you stand in that sovereign opt-out energy, you become a living, breathing reminder to others that they can opt out too. And that's how the ripple begins. That's how the dynamic collapses. Because where there is no friction, the pattern dissolves. And what comes at the end of this unraveling? Freedom. Freedom for all beings. Now let's take this deeper. Patriarchy at its core is not simply a political system or a social structure. It is a spiritual distortion, a disempowerment and suppression of the feminine principle itself. But here's what we're doing now as a collective of awakened souls. We're not fighting the patriarchy, and we're not even fixing it. We're choosing together, in our own sovereignty, in our own free choice, to bring it back into balance through remembrance, through frequency, through sacred rebellion. Because the original divine masculine was never meant to dominate. It was designed to hold, uplift, celebrate, exalt, and structure the wild, creative, mysterious current of the feminine. Not to silence her, but to witness her. And in that sacred witnessing, there is power. There is polarity and truth. As Taoism and countless mystical lineages teach us, the harmony of opposites is what allows life to create, evolve, and expand. The masculine and feminine, when honored in their sovereign, whole expressions, create what is called a tension. And this is not a conflict, but a creative tension of opposites. And that is what allows life to be life, to flourish, to grow, to change, to evolve. But when this balance is lost, when free will turns away from the light, we find ourselves in distortion, in constriction, in dissonance. We feel restless, we feel confused, we feel disempowered, we feel this weird sensation on our nervous systems of things being wrong and out of whack and not okay. And you know all of this weird stuff because you've lived this. As a sensitive person, you've lived this until now. Because here we are remembering, not in theory or concept or intellectually, but embodied, in presence, behaviorally. We are each choosing the frequency of balance, of sacred union within ourselves. And by choosing love over power, alignment over approval, presence over ancestral pattern, we are ending the illusion from the inside out. That's today's message. You are powerful beyond measure. You are the bridge. You are the balance. You are the remembrance. And if this resonated with you today, I invite you warmly to stay tuned, because the next few messages are building towards something truly magical. And we're walking toward a new era of creation together, and I love it. Have a beautiful day. Until next time, I love you.